How to start your first speech. Your first speech is one of the most important things you write because that will give you a motivation to go on further, or it will just hold you back. So, the first speech that you write, you must write with a lot of intensity, feeling, and after a lot of thought. The best topic which they say one should write a speech on for the first time is about oneself, on how one can break the ice or introduce oneself to other people. It's called the icebreaker, and in that you narrate in a humorous fashion, if possible, what your personality is all about, where you come from. You have the technicalities and the non-technicalities, and both are intertwined together in such a way that people get the feeling of the real you. Now, of course, one doesn't want to unveil everything about oneself to the public, but there are certain things one can always share, factual things like where you studied, where your background, what kind of a background you come from, what is it that you like, what are your interests, your job. This and a peek into what you are really all about. That is really important. So I would suggest that start in a robust, in a humorous way, and talk about yourself, and soon you will have a speech which will be easy for you to remember. Normally each speech is divided into three portions: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Each one of them is very distinct. In the introduction, you begin by saying something about yourself. It can straight away be a jump, a dive into your childhood, or it can be with something with a bit of a background. And you can continue into the body of the speech where you narrate incidents, you talk about what you know. And lastly, when you conclude your speech, you should give a holistic and a very fine-tuned conclusion which will round up the speech and which will make people feel good about you. That's all from me.